While China has experienced significant economic growth over the past few decades, it has unfortunately been at the expense of the environment. Specifically, a vast majority of China's waterways, rivers, and lakes have become polluted. In turn, this has had serious health and economic ramifications. Driving China's water pollution has been the industry sector. The economic dependence on the industry sector was demonstrated in China's 2010 GDP, whereby the industry sector, inclusive of mining, manufacturing, construction, and power, contributed 46.8% of the total GDP. However, the industries that drive this growth are major contributors to the pollution of China's rivers and lakes. In fact, 70% of China's rivers and lakes are now considered to be contaminated. In March 2014, a polluted river in the Xinjiang province burst into flames when a lit cigarette was thrown into it. Waterways are consistently becoming polluted because instead of factories disposing of waste appropriately, industrial discards full of harmful chemicals are dumped into nearby bodies of water. It is easy access since more than half of China's 21,000 chemical plants are built upon riverbeds such as the Yellow River. Waterways are usually contaminated with traces of arsenic, fluorine, and sulfate. More than 500 million people, predominantly those living in rural areas, are forced to consume water contaminated by human and industrial waste. Since over 1/3 of industrial waste is deposited into China's waterways, water contamination is contributing to an increase in mortality and incidences of disease. There is a strong link between the rates of cancer and the areas where factories discharge chemical waste into rivers. Such areas rely on the contaminated water from rivers for drinking, washing, and cooking, and are commonly referred to as cancer villages due to the high incidences of cancer. However, not only has water pollution impacted the well-being of the Chinese populace, but it is also harming the economy. In fact, water pollution accounts for half of the $69 billion that the Chinese economy loses to pollution every year. Furthermore, since the polluting of waterways damages ecosystems, it has evidentially contributed to a loss of fish production in many areas in China, which has negatively impacted the fishing industry. Evidently, the challenges and economic problems environmental degradation has caused has forced the Chinese government to address environmental issues in its economic agenda. Investment in clean energy and environmental industries and technology which eradicate harmful pollution levels has certainly begun to pay off. In fact, China has emerged as a leader in renewable energy and investment soared from $39 billion to $111 billion in just 5 years. The BCEG Environmental Remediation is a company in Beijing which chemically treats polluted soil and water.
We heat up the soil and those things can dissolve from the soil, separate from the soil, and then we can just treat those gases separately. The soil is cleaned up already. And we put chemicals. This is also ex situ. We put chemicals in the soil and then we wash the soil, wash it, and then separate the soil in different particles, in terms of size. So the big rock can separate first, and then a medium-sized rock, and then sand, and in very last we got mud sludge, very condensed.
Chongqing Sanfen Environmental Industry is a waste management company which allows households and industries to dispose of waste appropriately and recycle items in an environmentally friendly manner. Indeed, this deters companies from dumping chemicals into waterways. Environmental not-for-profit organisations, such as the Nature Conservancy, collaborates with the government and offers advice on economic and political matters from an environmental perspective. Although China's economic growth has precipitated a series of environmental crises, the promising eco-friendly programs, initiatives and technologies that have been at the forefront of Chinese economics offer hope for the future of China.